You're watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, how to look 10 years younger without surgery. My first guest has developed a unique protocol. She calls it the time machine, and you probably don't even need to give her an introduction. She is America's favorite dermatologist, Dr. Tess Mauricio.
Hello,
welcome to the program.
Randy.
And everybody, I talk to doctors, all over the U.S. And I was telling you, somebody else was just saying, oh yeah, Dr. Mauricio. Everybody seems to know you now because you've been on The Doctors and Rachel Ray. And
we've done a lot of these shows, and I've been very fortunate because I've had the opportunity to really, usher in a lot of the latest technologies in non-surgical rejuvenation. And now I've kind of put everything together in a wonderful, really super effective package called the Time Machine. And we call it the Time Machine because it literally is, patients can step into our time machine and we can bring them back how they look 10 years, 5 years, depending on how much time they have to heal, depending on their skin type. It's individualized on the patient's problem and their skin type, but we're getting amazing results without surgery.
Who's the typical patient that sees you now for this?
Well,
these procedures.
These are patients that probably when they were younger, they were attractive, they used to get a lot of compliments. And then over time with aging and things that happens with women, they just feel invisible.
Okay.
I mean, they're
Did
just,
they tell you
nobody,
that?
Yes. I mean, no one's noticing them, no one's commenting. They don't like to take photos of themselves. They're horrified when they, take photos of themselves. You're going to get to talk to my patient Jennifer. I mean, the reason she came to my clinic is she accidentally flipped, the camera when she was taking a photo of her grandkids. It flipped, and then she accidentally took a photo of herself, and she was mortified.
On her iPhone.
Yes. And she was mortified when she saw how she looked. And these were women who used to be beautiful, and now they're like, what happened? And so
I saw the clip. So she's a 58-year-old woman.
And she has 6 kids, 12 grandkids, a beautiful person. She's a teacher, and she really just felt like she's lost herself. And we did the Time Machine, again, a combination of non-surgical procedures, the best the technology can offer, and also combined with my expertise. I mean, the results are outstanding.
So give me a recap of what someone might get. Okay, so they go in, 40-plus woman goes in. Is it a combination of laser, a little
What
Botox,
we do
fillers?
is really addressing everything that happens to why we end up looking older.
Okay.
We address the deterioration of the skin, the sun damage, sunspots, age spots, the thinning of the skin, crepiness, wrinkles, the loss of volume. That's the reason why we're sagging. It's not like we've grown new skin as we age, which is why now we have wrinkles and loose skin, which is the reason why facelifts and cutting never really creates natural results. You're not getting to the bottom of why you have this look as you age. But the Time Machine, we are doing skin resurfacing, we're revolumizing, we are using and harnessing patients' own natural ability to create collagen. And when we do this, you really are addressing why this person looks older. So this is why they look natural. Patients who come to me also know that my expertise is really creating natural looking results. They look refreshed, they look younger, they look prettier. Patients who come to me are never going to look unnatural. That is my promise to all my patients. And the patients who come to me want that. That is what they're looking for, because not all surgeons, not all doctors have the same eye for beauty. And I think, it's very important that people out there know the doctor that
Find
they
a
go
doctor
to.
that has an eye for beauty.
Exactly.
You wrote this book, and you have a book
Yes.
defining this?
California Total Beauty.
Okay.
It really is defining outer beauty combined with inner beauty, because I don't know if I've told you, but I actually thought I was going to be a psychiatrist.
Okay.
When I entered Stanford, because I really feel that the way people feel on the inside is the most important thing. And so what I've done in my career as a dermatologist is create external changes, but because of that, it's created internal transformations. And so the book is really showing people that yes, there are things that can be done for your outer beauty, but also we can work on an inner beauty so you have a better appreciation of the outside.
The first treatment I had that I really liked was called Venus Freeze, and it's a series of treatments, and what it does, it tones and tightens my skin. And the second treatment that I liked was a mixto fractional, which basically resurfaces your skin for younger looking skin. And then probably the tried and true, a little bit of Restylane, because I have fairly deep smile lines, because I think I smile a lot.
I am pushing 70 years old. I hate to say it. No, I don't really, because I feel better and feel like I look better today than I did 10 years ago.
So when I met Tess, I said, Tess, my concern is I don't want to look like a freak. I don't want to have this skin pulled back and not look like myself. She said, Patrick, I have the thing for you, and it's called the Time Machine. And I said, really? Does it hurt? That was my first concern. Is this thing going to hurt? It's going to change me? What do you have to do? Is it needles? What is it? And you know what? She said to me, Patrick, you know what? I'm going to take care of you. She goes, this thing is not invasive at all, and we're going to take care of you, and you're going to love it.
I used to have rosacea, which people always thought that I was blushing or just really embarrassed by something. And I was very uncomfortable about that. And then, since I had this treatment, it's unbelievable because my skin has an even tone now where it never had that before. I'm really so much happier, and I feel calmer and more confident because of it. It's great.
I interviewed one of your patients, and one of the things she said, for 58 years, did nothing, not an esthetician, and she had a tough time spending money on herself. She said she felt vain,
Yes.
but when she looked in the mirror, she felt exhausted. And people used to tell her, she would sleep 9 hours, and they would say, are you tired?
Right.
And it's hard to believe people actually even say that. Do you look tired? It's not a nice thing to say to somebody.
No, I know.
But
I know.
Do you
when
hear
people,
that from? Is that typical conversation with every one of your consults?
It's actually one of the questions in we have an outer beauty quiz in my book. And that's one of the questions, because that is the number one reason patients come to me, is they don't want to look, if they're in their 50s, they don't want to look like they're 20.
Okay.
They want to not look tired. They want the way they feel on the inside to be how they look on the outside, to reflect and to match.
Do they get that back? Do you see transformations where people say, Dr. Mauricio, you've changed my life?
Absolutely. In my book, we actually chronicle patient stories of how the things that we do in our clinic have transformed their lives. These are life-changing things, and you better believe it, my patient Jennifer never in her life thought she would be comfortable in front of a camera. But now I've done so many TV segments with her because she feels confident, she's happier, she's talking to everyone about what she's had.
And her personality, she says,
absolutely
has come out when you have self-confidence. And that's sexy too.
Exactly.
Self-confidence is
and
sexy.
her husband is so happy. Actually, it's interesting because it was her and her husband who came to me for the consultation. And her husband was the one who said, because Jennifer was feeling guilty about spending money on herself.
Okay.
Her husband told her, I want you to do this. And now that I've seen how Jennifer can look after she's done the Time Machine program, I'm like, no wonder, she's gorgeous. And she's lost that with aging. And you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to really allow yourself to deteriorate. You can get yourself back.
Now, how are you creating tightening though? Help me understand the technology that's creating tightening.
Absolutely. There's a combination of treatments, and with Jennifer, what we did is we combined it with fractional laser skin resurfacing, which in itself is basically forcing our skin to recreate collagen. The reason it's saggy, it's loose, it's crepey, it's thin, is that over time we've lost collagen.
All right.
And so there is a way to reactivate
So when you
our
heat
cells.
that,
Absolutely.
when you heat the tissue.
Heating, and also we're combining it now with platelet-rich plasma, which increases our skin's ability to create collagen. And then when we combine that with fillers just in the right place, it's really fantastic. We combine it as well with radiofrequency techniques. Really depends on what patients need and their skin type and the amount of downtime that they're willing to have, but the effects, the results are fantastic.
Okay, now we were talking in the green room about, and I was saying, don't you think people are getting overfilled? Some of these women look
Yes.
very odd. We just saw the awards shows.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
And you were mentioning a few names. So this overfilling.
Overfilling is the worst thing that doctors do to their patients. These are beautiful women. used to be beautiful women that or men that now look like caricatures. I mean, it is not a natural look to have your cheeks extend farther than your nose. But a
Okay.
lot of people are getting this look.
But is that in the hands? I mean, that you're saying that's the doctor's
100%.
Interesting.
100%. This is operator dependent. The doctor is doing this to the patients. It is a crime. And the reason patients come to me is because they know I will never ever do that. It is a big fear. Many people out there who are watching are scared to even enter a cosmetic doctor's office because they never want to have the big lips, big cheeks.
Can you add volume to the lips without making it look odd?
I have volume in my lips right now.
Is that
There's
right?
fillers in my lips. There's fillers around my mouth. The best result is when people cannot tell that you've had it done.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you.
Thank you.
I mean, you know, I think women need to know too that look does not look good. Not to any guy, not to any female. In fact, when you go to a party or an event, the person with the big lips, everybody's talking about.
Yes, not in a good
and
way.
And the word is, they say, a freak. You know.
Right, not in a good way. And
are they
people,
doing it to look younger? Or
you
they're
know,
doing it to look different? Give me your take.
It's one of these
And do
things
they come
where
in wanting
if
that?
you look at an 18-year-old, beautiful, fresh-looking young person,
Okay.
they don't look, I mean, they don't have eyebrows all the way up to here. They don't have sunken under eyes. They don't have overfilled cheeks. They don't have huge lips. It is not a youthful look. Now,
Interesting.
we
Okay,
can turn like a 35-year-old lady who's beautiful, or a doctor can, and make them look like a 55-year-old lady who's been through surgery and had
Interesting.
all their fat pads removed and changed and altered. Just because you don't have wrinkles and you don't have sagging, that doesn't mean you will look young.
I tell women my age, and 99% of the time, you're how old? And they just can't believe it. And when I tell them the procedures that I've had, they're just astounded. I recommend it to anyone. You just can't describe how it makes you feel inside. I feel good, I feel like I look good, I feel young, and I'm happy.
After I had the procedure, it really was amazing. My husband was so nice and complimenting me and saying how young I looked, and it's nice because he's 4 years younger than I am, so I like that.
You know, being a businessman and being in the public eye, now that my skin is smoother and softer, and you know, a big deal for me was I used to have these lines in between my two eyes right here, and it made me look as though I was very angry all the time. But you know what Tess did? She filled this. It was very easy. Took like what, about less than 5 minutes, and I mean that's changed me dramatically. People go, Patrick, you don't look so angry anymore. You look happy all the time. You know, that gave me a lot of credibility with not only my clients, but you know, just in my general life. I love it.
People need to know, you know, we're talking to America's favorite dermatologist. I'm not on the show trying to promote you, by the way. I mean,
Yes.
this is a real interview.
No,
but I happen to send people to
absolutely.
you, and I've been to your office myself for Botox and things like that. But do you not like surgery? I mean, are you also convinced, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if you get a woman 35, 40 years old, and she starts following your protocols, are you convinced she'll never need surgery?
Yes.
Really?
I think that the technology and the knowledge and expertise that we have now, this is why we have the Time Machine package, it is allowing us to really no longer need surgery. There are patients, and I'm saying, you know, the ones that maybe have severe sagging, severe loose skin, those who've lost maybe hundreds of pounds after weight loss, where there's just excessive amount, and they will not be happy with more subtle results. Then, you know, I talk to them about surgical options. But I would say that the majority of patients out there, if they know that they can achieve, you know, they can take 5 to 10 years off, no longer look tired, now look more refreshed.
And you can hold them there. So you take a 50-year-old, make them
Absolutely.
look 40.
And
And how long can they hold that look?
What happens is we permanently are turning back the clock on people's aging.
Okay.
So when people ask me how long do these results last, I tell them that is now, I mean, Jennifer, I mean, she looks 10 years younger. That is now her new baseline at 58. If she did nothing, she will still be way ahead of her
Interesting,
aging.
okay.
But of course, now that she looks so good, she's feeling good, her husband's happy, her friends are asking her constantly what she did because she looks so wonderful. She's gonna want to maintain it, and it doesn't cost a lot. It doesn't take a lot of time to maintain it now where she is.
I would go into work and people would tell me in the morning as I'd wake up after 9 hours worth of sleep and say, wow, you're looking really tired, you're looking worn out today. And I think, gee, I just had a good 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep and I'm already starting out the day tired and worn out. And even times my husband would notice as I'd leave to go to work that I had just looked tired. And then one day I happened to have my iPhone, which was fairly new, and I went to take a picture of one of the grandchildren, and I went to take the picture, and I hit that flip phone, and the picture reversed back at me, and all of a sudden I looked and I went, oh my gosh, what has happened to me? It's only been 4 weeks and 2 visits to the office at Dr. Mauricio's, and I look and I feel so much better. The brown spots on my face are gone, the wrinkles, my skin has improved, it's tighter, it's amazing, the youthful look that I have, the freshness, the years have come off. It's a fabulous experience. My first day back at work, one of the teachers comes walking around the corner and she goes, wow, you look really refreshed. And the closer she gets, she looks at me and she goes, what did you do? Whatever it is, sign me up, I want it too. So she was really impressed and she just kept looking at me. She goes, your face looks great. You look so good. You look so much younger. It's great.
And great skin looks good, by the way.
Great
when
skin
you go,
is sexy.
knowing you're coming on the show, I'm looking at people, and people with great skin, they just present differently. And you don't have to have that classic beauty. Good skin is noticeable, and it is pretty.
It's number one. I mean, it doesn't matter what makeup you're using. It doesn't matter what outfit you have on, what hair you have. If you have great skin, one, you wake up, you look at yourself in the mirror, you smile. And so it really, this is one of the things that I talk about in my book, is because the way we look, it is not about vanity, it's human nature. It makes us happy, it inspires us, beauty inspires us. And so when we lose that, we don't even realize how it affects us internally. But when we restore it, the amazing benefits internally, psychologically, is really, it's really unmeasurable.
So it's a boost in, obviously your
In
self-esteem.
life.
Now,
We're living the very best life, and that's really what I want my patients to have.
is this a new aging gracefully?
Absolutely. And you're doing it without surgery, with minimal
So 10,
downtime.
15 years, are you kind of excited though to see what's going to happen with yourself, with your patients?
It is so exciting.
You think
And-
a 65-year-old may look 40
Oh, yes.
in the future?
Easy.
Really, without surgery?
Especially if they start earlier. And this is exciting too for the younger people who are watching. If you are in your 30s and you're just now starting to see, gosh, your skin's not the same, your makeup's not looking the same, you're starting to get sun damage, the under eye area is not looking as, as plump and nice. This is truly the best time to start these things. And you keep yourself, you maintain yourself. I tell my patients, we maintain our house, our cars, everything. Why not maintain your body? And it's really just part of self-care, maintenance, and loving yourself.
Do you think, by the way, secretly, I've never asked you this, that you are that much better than most of the practitioners out there?
I think that, it's...
And define better. Is it better because you understand the technology? Is it better because of your eye for beauty?
It's my philosophy. I really think that I really never want to change the way people look. Okay. I really want to preserve their authenticity, their authentic look, but get it to be the very best it possibly can be. And utilizing the very best in technology that we have, my expertise, and also in my clinic, people know that I don't just care about the outside, I care about the inside, which is why I call it total beauty. I talk to my patients and I care about my patients as a whole, as people, as persons, with their lives and how it's impacting these treatments, and the external changes are impacting their lives. So I think in that way, it's therapeutic beyond just the aesthetics when patients come to see us.
Do you think women don't know what's possible?
Yes, which is...
like the 58-year-old patient of yours that I met, because she did nothing. I didn't ask her that question, but do you think there's a lot of women walking around thinking, there's nothing I can do aside from surgery?
I think it's because when they see people who don't look good, when they see the freaks,
like the Housewives
exactly
shows.
That actually is, everybody mentions that.
That's the
when
only
they
reason
come
why
in.
I watch it, just to see what they look like.
Exactly, and they're like, please, what are they doing? Why? why do they look like that? And so I think a lot of it is fear. And so one of my intent in going on TV and educating, creating awareness for women out there, men and women out there, is that let them know that there are options where they can just look their very best and they don't have to go under the knife and they will look natural. And I think when they hear that and when they see before and afters and when they hear my patients talk about their experiences, then that fear factor will go down, because everybody wants to look their very best. I really believe that. Everybody, that is a universal want and actually a psychological need for all of us. It's just those, whether it be fear factor, they don't want to look weird. 2 is the cost. And that's the other thing too. The Time Machine package is really such an amazing value. If you're considering all of the things that we're adding in and what we're addressing, your eyes, the wrinkles, the sun damage, the sagging, the extra skin, this really is a fraction of the cost of a surgical procedure and laser skin resurfacing and fillers, all bundled together because we want our patients to get the very best results.
So when should somebody do something? Just when they don't like what they see in the mirror?
Well, no.
Or like the way they're aging?
I think that everybody should be doing something to maintain. Even in our 20s, we're already really starting to break down collagen. The science of sun damage is going in. And you don't necessarily have to go through a major time machine. We actually have mini time machines as well for younger people. So we really individualize it. Even as easy as skincare products, there's new technology now in skincare products if you're on the younger side. Radio frequency technologies that just keeps you from deteriorating.
I first met you 10 years ago. You look younger now than you did then. But would you say in just the last 3 years you're that much better? The technology is that much better to get better results than just 3 years ago?
3 years ago it is, and every day, and every year we're really discovering new things. A lot of it is harnessing our own body's ability to heal and create collagen and create cells that we want. That are have been down, we've produced less as we age. We're going into this new technology as well, a new part of our practice, which is regenerative medicine, where we're harvesting not just platelet-rich plasma, but regenerative cells from people's fat and re-injecting it and creating
Are you able to do that
healing.
now?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's kind of the new exciting phase of our practice, and there's just so many things, but I think the most exciting thing now is that, we're getting less and less invasive, which is wonderful.
I didn't want to have plastic surgery. I was afraid. I didn't want to look different, and if a plastic surgeon makes a mistake, you're stuck with it forever. So I wanted to try something more natural, and when I found out about Dr. Tess, I felt immediately comfortable with her to allow her to do the procedures that she did on me, and I wouldn't change it for anything, not anything in the world.
Well, what I really want to tell people is this is not a difficult procedure, and you're going to love it, because think about it. You're going to go in, you're going to look the same, but you're going to look so much better than you do. You're going to be a better version of who you are. You're not going to look like a freak. You're not going to look like you've had some surgery done, but people are going to notice a huge difference.
I just looked younger. I'd say by at least 5 years, and my friends were pretty impressed. I didn't tell anybody, of course, but they said I looked younger, and when I look younger, I feel younger, and I act younger.
One of the things I really like about this Venus Freeze is that I look like I have a glow. I was always kind of deadpan before and light complected, and now I have this unbelievable glow that people notice all the time. They say, my goodness, are you wearing new makeup? What are you doing differently? And you know what? I don't even hardly wear makeup anymore. It is amazing. I just love that Venus Freeze.
Now, by the way, because people, my friends, they say, tell me about Dr. Mauricio, what do you think? But it doesn't cost more to go, because you're all over the television, right? You've been on national shows, you've got this book, but it doesn't cost more to go to you as opposed to a day spa that has a laser. Is that true?
It's actually a fallacy and people have this that's probably, they probably get intimidated in a way.
Yes, that's what I meant to say.
And they're saying, oh gosh, because you're on TV, you must be more expensive. And that's really not true. The value that you get. I would say that, because of the expertise that we have, and I have now RNs and physician assistant and my staff that has been wonderfully trained personally by me, that allows all the different tiers and all the different kinds of people to come in and say, if you only feel comfortable with Dr. Tess, only the one touching you, yes, you can have that done. But if you feel comfortable with the concept and with Dr. Tess supervising, you can have a less expensive procedure done by one of our trained staff. And so don't be intimidated by what you think would be higher price. Really look at the value, and you would be really surprised that
What's
we're
your
very
favorite kind of a
competitive.
patient, by the way? A woman early on, let's say in her 40s, somebody like your patient that's 58 that has never done anything.
I would say someone like Jennifer,
Okay.
because I really have, one, made a believer, and two, it truly made a huge impact in her life. The reason why I love what I do is really I get to experience and be a witness to the transformations patients have on the inside because of the things that I'm doing or we're doing for them on the outside.
Are more men coming in?
Yes, and this is actually, the time machine is fantastic for men, because men really, with facelifts and surgical procedures, can look so unnatural and feminized. And they really just need to get rid of sun damage, just look more refreshed, and they look great with the time machine. So they're really attracted to the fact that they're not needing surgery. They will look natural. They won't get rid of their masculinity, the masculine look, but they just look fresh and younger.
Do you find that when somebody comes in, they drag in their partner? They're coming to do something?
Well, I am getting a lot of couples coming in, couples in their 50s and 60s, who really appreciate the fact that, they feel great, they're enjoying life, so why not look great? Really, why not? There's really no reason to not do it.
And we're out of time. Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks,
Final
Randy.
message to somebody that doesn't like the way they're aging.
Well, call our clinics. There's an M Beauty by Dr. Tess all over Southern California now. Find out your options, get educated. We offer free consultations, and you will be amazed at how many things you actually will be able to afford, and it will change your life, we promise.
Take 10 years off.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks again for coming on the show. Always a pleasure. Always
you,
good stuff.
Randy.
You've been watching the Wellness Hour, leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. If you would like to see this again online, visit our website at wellnesshour.com and just put in Dr. Mauricio or Dr. Tess. For now, I wish you good health.
Thanks for watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news with your host, Randy Alvarez, the authority on health issues.